Hi, I'm Donna Smith, and this is Sound Advice. On Sound Advice, I like to talk about professional and personal development. Today, I want to talk about time management tactics. On other shows, I've talked about writing goals and other things like that, but today, how can you squeeze more time in your day so that you can reach your goals and your objectives and all those things on your laundry list that you want to do? I've done an entire workshop in covering everything in time management, but today I only want to talk about 4 tips that you can use. Tip number 1. Now, this is a difficult one. This is what I call handling interrupters. Interrupters are those people who, after they've done everything that they needed to do, they've got time to kill. So they end up in your office. They don't want to work anymore, so they may have an hour to kill, maybe even an hour and a half. So they come to your office because you always make them feel welcomed, and they're going to kill the day, and you're a part of that process. Or they're on the phone, or they're emailing you back and forth, and things like that. These are interrupters. Now, it's understood you're going to have some interruptions in your day, but when you get these interrupters, what are some things that you can do? Well, this is something that can work for you. If an interrupter, and I think about when I used to teach, one of my co-workers, who's a friend of mine, would come to my office because he worked in the morning and I worked mostly in the mid-afternoon to late in the evening. So he would finish all of his work and he had time to kill, so he would stop by my office just to chat away. What you can do when you know you're busy and your desk is loaded with things, you can meet them at the door. Soon as you know that they're coming in, meet them, stand up and meet them at the door, because basically you're going to say to them, "Oh, I need to get with you another time because I have so much to do. You see this list? I have so much to do." And you can show them that you're in the middle of a project. "Can I get with you maybe Tuesday, or maybe we can do lunch Wednesday?" Stop it right there, because if you allow them to come in and get comfortable, it's difficult to get someone out of your office once they've come in and they sat down and they kick their feet up on your desk. So that's one thing that you can do to handle those interrupters. If they're texting you, just give them a brief text that says, "I'm really busy now. We'll get back with you the latter part of the week," or something like that, when you know you have more free time. Or if they're calling you, you can text them with that. That's the beauty of text. I'm really not a text person, but that is the beauty of the text. You don't have to answer the phone because you may be tempted to be engaged in a long conversation, but let them know that you acknowledge that they have contacted you, and unless it's something very important right now, let me get back to you because I'm in the middle of project A, B, and C. Remember, you have to be the gatekeeper of your time, because if you're not, then all of these people, all of these interrupters will take you away from your task, which means you're going to be up late in the evening trying to make up that time. And it's going to take you twice as much time to do it late in the evening because you're starting to get weary. So it's better for you to try to get as much stuff done when you had planned to do it, unless you are a night person and you do most of your work in the evening. It would be better to do it when you know you are that most productive. And if you start thinking in terms of adding up all of these interruptions and how much time it's taking you away that you have to make up that time, you may be more encouraged to be disciplined to be your gatekeeper. Now, this next tip, I really like this next tip. I say busy work versus productive work. Busy work. Let me explain what I mean. That's a person who is constantly busy, but actually by the end of the day, or at the end of the day, they really haven't accomplished all of those important goals and tasks that were needed. You know, we have goals. We have things that we really want to accomplish. We want to be successful, but yet we get sidetracked with doing a lot of busy work. I wonder why. Because it's easier sometimes to allow yourself to get into the busy work, because those other tasks, which are more productive, I call the productive things that you do are lending themselves to meet your goals and your objectives of things that you really, really want to accomplish, or those must-haves. You know, on your list, you have your must-haves, you have those urgent things that lead to your goals and your objectives, and then you have those, I want to do these things, and then you have that busy work. Well, sometimes we find ourselves in the busy work because it's easier to do. I call it alphabetizing your paper clips. I will look in your drawer and I will see in your desk drawer that you have alphabetized your paper clips. Well, it looks nice, but at the end of the day, who cares? So you want to make sure that you're putting off all of that busy work and you're looking at those things in your productive list, looking at those things on your task list that lend to your objectives and your goals, and those things that you really want to do. That would make you more satisfied and really feel more accomplished, and that you have control over your time, because that's what we're talking about, getting ahead of it, not being under your tasks, but being over them and managing your time. And let me say at this time, we don't want to be caught in doing other people's busy work. You know, sometimes we allow other people to drop on our desk and we are fulfilling their goals and their agendas and we're doing their busy work. You don't want to get caught up into that. I talk about stop being manipulated in another show. So please look at that show and I go more in detail about that. All right, here's another tip that you want to keep in mind. So I call it wise moves. Another wise move. Try to think in terms of your time. Going to places like the bank or the grocery store. What are the best times to go and days so that there are less people there? Tuesdays and Wednesdays are probably better than Mondays and Fridays. Calling people on their phone. If you have to conduct business, Mondays and Fridays are probably not the best days. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and maybe even Thursdays are better. And you need to know, who are you calling? When is the best time to call that person so that you can get something done? Sometimes it's best to make a call right before lunchtime because people are trying to go to lunch, so they're not going to keep you up in a long conversation. Or even right before you leave work, maybe 20 or 30 minutes before you leave work, because people know it's at the end of the day, and so you can hurry up and say what you have to say and then move on. Those are ways that are wise, that can save you time, and all of that time adds up. And like I said, think in terms of 20 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 15 minutes here, 30 minutes there. It adds up. And you can use that time to do some of those things that you have to do, those tasks that lead to your goals and your objectives, and things that you want to do. And if you have free time after that, you can do that busy work. And the last tip, determine an organization system. I like to have a planner. I have a planner for my work business and a planner for my other stuff. In other words, my work business, those are my goals and my objectives dealing with my business that I conduct. The other planner that I have is for going to the grocery store. I need to call this person to make an appointment to go to the dentist, etc. So I have a planner for each of those. And I'm a pen and person kind of person. I like to see it on my desk. And a good thing you could do is, before the next day, write out everything in your planner so that, and have it right there in the middle of your desk so that when you wake up in the morning and you're ready to work, it's right there. You don't have to try to figure out, what is it that I have to do? Everything is listed right there. Now, I also would put M for morning, A for afternoon, E for evening by my task. You know, I'll write them out, and that says, these are the things I want to get done in the morning. These are the things that I'll get done in the afternoon. These are the things that I will get done in the evening. That's just my system. What is your system? You may have an app that works for you. You may want to put everything on your phone that works for you, or in Outlook, in your computer. Whatever it is, have a system and stick with it. What's not a good system is having post notes or sticky notes all over the place. You know, they can fall off your desk. They're hard to read sometimes. and they may get mixed up in some other pile. Anyway, I just don't think that's the best system. But come up with something that works with you. I will have a link below for some planners and organizers that may interest you. We are trying to get things done so that you can have time to enjoy life. Time management tactics that work. These are just a few. If you want more, by all means, you can visit my website and contact me, and I'll be more than glad to come in and work with your organization to help you with time management tactics. Well, anyway, so next show, again, I'm Donna Smith, and that's Sound Advice.